Hello there, I'm Boo, or Jamie, and I like drawing, maximizing my hours in all the Pokemon games to find shinies, and I like to complain about lore in World of Warcraft. Hello, and welcome back to a new episode on the channel. We are back, not because it's Wednesday, but because I maybe did a little something so I could start getting the skip on my Paladin, because I figured, first of all, since we're gonna play her a bunch during the next weeks, that's gonna be very handy to have the skip on her, and also because, like I said, I'm still missing some of the scythes, and I'm also still missing Tashalash itself. I think that's how you pronounce that sword, at least. So, yeah, here we are, and we are definitely gonna get the mount first try baby. I mean, we didn't get the sword first try baby, but don't even worry about it. I will not apologize for the choice of pants, alright? Just let me have this. Let's roll. Alright, and boom! Well, tomorrow is another day, so tomorrow we're definitely gonna get the mount. And by the way, I only traveled to Dalaran and got my Dalaran Hearthstone. I didn't even talk to Maxwell to get my auto haul, so all of that is still waiting for us, because obviously we are not going to stay here. We're gonna go back to our turf, which is the Burning Crusade turf. And now, while we're running through the Black Morass one last time before the TBC week is over, I'm gonna tell you what I've been up to while I haven't been recording. Well, first of all, as you can see, I grinded up to level 70, which was, thanks to the time walking experience, a lot of fun, because I just spammed time walking TBC dungeons left and right with my fiance together, and it was a blast. And while we were doing that, I also got the reputation of all of the Horde fractions up to Exalted. The only one missing right now are the Hojin Pandaren, of which I am wearing the tabard right now. And we also almost Exalted with every single TBC fraction, except for obviously the Ashtongue Deathsworn, which are the fraction that reside in the Black Temple, and the Scale of Sands, which are the dudes from Battle of Mount Hyjal. Yesterday, I did my character a solid and did pretty much all of the weekly stuff for Dragonflight during one day. It was not that enjoyable, I gotta say. I am a very outspoken person against the Season 4. I thought that the Fated season in Shadowlands was absolutely okay. We had COVID, there was a lot of stuff that just didn't work out the way the devs wanted it to work out, and all in all, Season 4 in Shadowlands was kind of fun. Season 4 in Dragonflight, however, is first of all not even featuring anything new at all. It is literally just reheated content. They didn't touch any of the classes. They didn't change anything. Most of the set bonus for most classes are exactly the same. And I think they didn't even give us a new version of the tier set that we're wearing, because I got very lucky and I got actually a tier set piece during one of my LFR runs, and it looks exactly like it looked in the second season during Aberrus. So I'm a little bit confused. I thought we would get a new hue at least, or a little recolor. Blizzard's favorite thing to do when they don't know what to do for content. But apparently not even that was worth the work. But yeah, this is what our character looks like. I did all of the Awakened LFR this week, which was the Vaults of the Incarnates. That was not as bad as I would have thought. I gotta say, I actually, of all the raids that we had this expansion, I mind the first one the least, I think. I didn't mind Aberrus either, but I really wasn't a fan of Amir Drasil one bit. But even that one we did, because I kind of thought, well, maybe we can even get the legendary axe during this patch. So let's see. And also, what did I do? Oh yeah, obviously this is from my chest for the 5 time walking dungeons, and everything else is from weekly shenanigans, like the Dragonbane Keep and the Feast and all that stuff that we've been doing for the entire expansion anyway. And since none of that was exciting whatsoever, I didn't record it. It was, you missed nothing. Honestly, you missed absolutely nothing, and I really gotta say, if they're gonna make this Fated season crap a thing of habit now, then what's the point of playing the expansion altogether? Like, then you can just wait for the last season. I'm sorry, I'm being a little bit mean, but I really think that what we got for this season is not worth the money you have to pay every month. I'm gonna be honest. But what is worth our money is definitely doing old content that is still good. and thanks to all of our LFR and time walking dungeon shenanigans, obviously our vault for tomorrow also looks kinda juicy for a fresh level 70 character, I'd say. I think it's so hilarious, by the way, that all of the pretended growth that Blizzard claims they've done with putting body type A and B instead of female and male in the character creation, it just all falls apart as soon as you look at a character that is body type 2 with these pants, and then you turn yourself into a male character, which we are going to do while Thrall is so heroically mounting up on that horse. I mean, you can already see it on this broken. All of a sudden we have some leather strips there that are hiding our sweet naked legs. But it gets even worse if we choose a race that maybe has a little bit updated models. Ta-da! Yep. No naked cheeks for the boys, okay? I mean body type 1. You know, Blizzard, if you really want the good boy cookies for that one, then maybe go all the way with that. And I know that they've gotten better with that there is definitely, let's call it more revealing transmog, that also the body type 1 people are allowed to wear, but they haven't upgraded it for so much of the old transmog. And yeah, I see that, Blizzard. I don't forget that. And while we're on the topic of doing a last hooray for the TBC week, we're obviously also going to do our Netherwing dailies one last time. We are currently sitting at a very comfortable 16,387 of 21,000. Now, I'm really bad at math, so I am not sure if we're gonna make it to Exalted this time. But you know what? The cool thing is we're just gonna find out. And if not, then we're just gonna continue doing the dailies after the week is done until we are exalted. You know, it's kind of funny because Blizzard just released a interview, I think, was it? Where they made clear that they are not planning on adding any of the wishes such as Paladin Volpera and the swords in the nearest future, because that would be too much work for the animation and art department. For example, they would need to make up new storylines and they would need to make new mounts, for example, when we run with the example of the Paladin, which I think is so crazy because first of all the animations are in the game, which you can clearly see if you use the toy Atomic Recalibrator, because that one turns you into any different race, the allied race, the normal races. And I know that there are, for example, not all the animations done for the demon hunters. If you turn yourself into a different race other than blood elf and night elf as a demon hunter, then you definitely know what I'm talking about, because you usually just stand around while your character does something like the blade dance, for example. But apart from that, every other class has all of its animation transferred to the other races, so I don't really know what they're talking about there. And when it comes to mounts, I don't mind if I run around on a standard human or blood elf horse for a while until they have figured that stuff out. Just implement the classes. Why not? Let people have that freedom. I mean, what is exactly stopping them? I am unsure. I have a feeling that maybe they are not doing that because people have given them a lot of shit, and rightfully so, when they initially implemented Magar priests. They gave them a very humanized background on why they use the power of the light, even though there are definitely stories that are more involved with the background of the Magar. And then they changed that. For example, they gave the Magar priest that stand around in Orgrimmar much more fitting clothes and not the standardized human clothes. And I have a feeling that they're just not in the mood to do all of that work for every single race class combination. Alright, I'm gonna gather the nether side ores that are still missing, and I think then we're gonna continue on our little travel because we still have a lot of things to do that I want to do before the weekly reset tonight. Because just like I said in the last episode, I think, we still want to start farming our Anki-Raj set on the Paladin, because I have never done that. I have a lot of Anki-Raj sets, but actually not that one. So let's jump right into Anki-Raj 40 and start killing all of this trash, because since we've never been here, we can use all the reputation that we get, and we will just be on our merry way and murder our way through Ankh-Raj, because the Brood of Nosdormu doesn't like us right now anyway, and we're still getting a lot of reputation from the trash until I think we've hit neutral. And for the very attentive CupOfBoo viewer, you guys know that we've been here to tame some of the beasties in here as a hunter, and so you already know that these bosses are very annoying because you need to hit them very carefully. Oh, which we immediately fucked up. Oh no. All right, but they didn't care. Oh, hell yeah. All right, we still killed them, I think, right? Yes, we did. All right, good. And now to Fancris the Unyielding, who gave us a little bit of trouble as a hunter because he has such a wide aggro range that I was not prepared to face. And just so I won't forget about my weekly endeavors in Ankh-Raj, I'm gonna put the Brood of Nosdormu as an experience bar on my character's UI because I tend to forget it otherwise. Which is the reason why I don't have a single piece of the Paladin set, even though I really like it. And also a little trick that I like to do if you farm Ankh-Raj a lot with one character. Keep these yellow and blue and red Ankh-Raj resonating crystals and put them on your bank. Because then your character, you know, won't pick them up every single time you run through this raid and you won't have to delete them every time. And yes, I know that I left out Vicidius, but currently I don't have anything on me that could do frost damage, and I know that there are some ways you can do that even with a class that can't do frost damage, but I don't care right now, alright? There's the man. Hey, sexy. Let me quickly end you. I mean, you can still do your grand entrance. Ooh, there he comes. Looking good. And we're also gonna throw all of these items that we need for the quests later onto our bank. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I also ran through Ankh-Raj 20 real quick because I realized that I'm missing almost all of the transmog in here. And we even got some transmog for our troubles. We got these slime kickers. Very pretty, very amazing. And we also got, I think, a belt. Yes, this belt. So this is what you've missed. We also gained some reputation with the Cenarian Circle. And now I think I have one quest that I'm gonna hand in, and then we're gonna be on our way to our next destination, because if you think that I'm done with my late Tuesday evening shenanigans before the weekly reset is happening, then you are wrong. And here we are at the Amani Pass, because our last destination for today, or for right now at least, is Suleiman, because someone in the comments, and kinda rightfully so, reminded me that while I was doing all of the TBC raids, I didn't do Suleiman. And I initially didn't do it because, first of all, I wasn't sure if this dungeon would be scaled down low enough so I would be able to do it, because this dungeon very famously got a little revamp in Cataclysm and is now no longer a raid but a 5-man dungeon. So first we're gonna do the very cool opening of Suleiman, which I never really understood what exactly we're supposed to do except for bashing the strange gong together with Vol'jin. RIP. Alright, we finally did it to Vol'jin's satisfaction. I still don't really know what we did that he liked it this time, but sure my man, sure my man. And while we're waiting for this opening sequence to play out, I'm also gonna click on all of these scouting maps. So we're gonna discover all our flight path and the maps, which I always like to do once I'm done with leveling a character, just so the map doesn't look so gosh darn empty all the time. As you can already see up here, time until sacrifice, this is a little time run. Obviously this time run is not very hardcore anymore, because well, everything in here is one shot. In here you get the Amani Hex Stick from many of the dungeon mobs, and these you can use at the end of the whole run. I mean, you can also use it before, but usually you have the most of them once you're done with the run, on all the little frogs that are gathered in the middle of the raid, down there where I'm looking right now. And these frogs are people. And apart from the fact that there is an achievement for freeing all of the different people that have been frogged by the Amani, there is also a secret pet that you can get there. And back in the day when pets were not account bound, I actually got this pet on pretty much every single character every time because I liked it so much, because that pet was also something you could get back in Wrath. Just like in the Ghostlands and in the Eversong Woods, once again we are dealing Blood Elf justice by killing the people that this land initially belongs to. Once again, let's just ignore that fact and be happy that we're getting some transmog. And every time you free one of the people that have been locked in the cages, you also get some extra loot from the chests that they open for you. To the next mobs, killing them for Amani sticks and also the tiniest amount of reputation. I did this dungeon so many times when it came out in Cataclysm. I did it a few times in Wrath before it got reworked as well. And I actually enjoyed the reworked version quite a lot because I took a little break from raiding during Cataclysm, so I mostly never had enough people to actually do a raid with, and I did a lot of random raiding. So I was really happy whenever I could do some really cool group content. But that is also me. I rather go into dungeons and M+ than raids nowadays. And now we need to free this captive. And Kasha will also open a few secret chests and bags for us. And these are the ones that reward you with an easy peasy mount if you don't have it yet. Because from here you get a recolor of the Amani Battle Bear. There he is. Like I said, this is a very easy mount to obtain because, well, you just saw it. You simply have to do exactly this time run and then that mount is yours. And now we're gonna quickly wrap up this dungeon, get cool pauldrons for our troubles, and then we're gonna go down and try to turn all these frogs back into people. And here we have our first little test subject, the forest frog, and we're gonna turn him back into Lenzo. And we're gonna do this for the next few minutes until I've run out of Amani hex sticks. And you can also get the same people again and again, so just because you've gathered a lot of Amani sticks doesn't mean that you're gonna get the achievement for freeing everyone at once. And there we've been lucky and we got Mojo. He just leaped into our pockets and now we have a new pet. Just in case you don't know what he looks like, this is him. This is a blue frog and he has the special little animation that, wait, I'll show you with my OG Mojo, not that it really makes a difference, but this one is still from the OG Zulaman, alright, just so you know. If you blow him a kiss, then he's gonna turn you into a frog as well. And just like every other normal person on a Wednesday morning would do, I am obviously with the newest, the greatest, the best content. We're going to do a quick Molten Core run because that's something I have been keeping secret from you guys. I was in Molten Core and Blackwing Lair last week because I finally wanted to get my last pieces for Tier 1 and Tier 2 of the Paladin. But no matter, now we're here and now we're going to enjoy this one together. And yes, it is now Wednesday. I have just finished editing the previous part of the episode, and even though I was planning on doing already a little usual Wednesday stuff on Tauros, the raids, the dungeons, everything that we've been doing last week, honestly, you know what? No. I'm gonna spoil you with some absolutely super fresh, amazing vanilla content before I'm gonna move on to some actual reset stuff in the next episode, because I am first and foremost by now a content creator. Well, I think you guys won't mind at all. Ugh, you know what I mind, accidentally pulling a few of these core hounds. But yes, I don't think any of you guys mind seeing some old school stuff instead of some questionably exciting Dragonflight stuff. I think you're a-okay with that. And I think I put it on the bank. Yes, I already did. But the day before yesterday, I actually got one of the 2 Windseeker shackles from Molten Core. I think, yep, I got the right half. And I mean, I don't really know what to do with that except for putting it on the bank, because I've been a proud owner of Thunder Fury for the past 10 years, I think, or a little bit longer even. So it's just gonna sit there and be pretty and orange. Oh my god, we finally got the obsidian edge blade. My lord. No, you don't understand. I've been farming this sword for so long. Hell yeah, look at this beauty of vanilla polygons. Love that. I mean, I love the one from Onyxia even more, but this is already so good. Alright, this Wednesday is off to a great start. Now we're doing all of this on a character that is lucky and got the Lawbringer chest guard. Hell yeah, we are getting more and more stuff for the banana set. Do you also call it the banana set in the English version of World of Warcraft? Because I remember when I started this game that everyone just always referred to this set as, well, a very fruity set in more than one sense. And ever since then, that name has been stuck in my head. Well, 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 we got a cool sword and we got a tier 1 chest plate already for our troubles. Ain't that cool? And I don't think there's anything that Ragnaros can drop us except, obviously, you already guessed it, for the Judgment leg plates that I'm still missing. Because in case you don't know that, the tier 2 that usually completely drops within the Blackwing lair has one drop that is from the Molten Core and drops from Ragnaros, which are the legs. And for some classes that only matters if you want to complete the set, but for others you need those legs, like the Paladin does, because for the Paladin it is your little skirt, and without it you don't have any legs, Morg wise. Even though I gotta say, that is my one big problem with Paladin sets. I'm never a big fan of wearing skirts. Like, both in real life and in World of Warcraft, I rather much enjoy it if I can wear pants. I'm definitely playing the wrong class if that is what I prefer. I know, but Paladin also has some redeeming qualities apart from that. And here we go. Summoning good old Ragnarosis. And maybe be blessed with leg plates. And while we're waiting for the man himself, I also actually skilled some engineering in Outlands yesterday. And I made it to a whooping 72. And if you're asking yourself, wow, Boo, how the hell did you do that? I remembered that I could pick up the field repair bot 110G, which is a drop from mobs in Blade's Edge. They drop from all these little engineering, tinkering dudes that the Legion likes to employ all over Outlands. And that one will get you up to exactly 72 if you're lucky, because then it turns green and obviously you can still skill with that. And I probably will do that before the next Darkmoon Fair comes around to at least make it to 73, because then I can hit 75 with just the Darkmoon quest alone. And for now we're gonna zoom out of here because we have one last destination that I want to do, which is, you guessed it, Blackwing Lair itself with a sexy man Nefarian. And now let's destroy some of these precious eggs. Alright, the only thing we're still missing are the Judgment Sabatons, and those drop from the next boss, but we're gonna finish the raid just because we can, and I've been a naughty boy and didn't show you how I cleared the raid the first time, so obviously you're coming with me. And now, the most fun part. I know that you can get one of these guys to kick you up there. I know, I am very aware of that, but you know, I'm Paladin, so I can also mostly zoom through here without the hold up. Alright, this guy didn't drop us our boots. And for any aspiring mining professional people like me, by the way, these guys drop you the recipe for the enchanted elementium bars. I already got it last time I went through here, but I haven't learned it yet because you have to be 300 to learn it, and I haven't farmed enough thorium with this character to reach that. I mean, at the end of the day, this character is still very young, so we're gonna make it eventually, trust. I know I say this every time, but I miss it so much when dragons mostly did not really care about us and were very arrogant, not only the evil ones but also every other one as well, which initially made Alexstrasza so special because she actually liked us and gave us some form of respect. And now that's what every dragon does, and contrary to popular belief, I actually do not really care that super ancient powerful beings treat me with a lot of respect, because why the hell would they? I'm sorry, sexy man. But with these 2 weekly disappointments already out of the way, I'm gonna end this episode right here. I'm sorry that you didn't get a real weekly reset at the end, but hey, now you have something to look forward for the next episode. As always, if you enjoyed this one, then please leave a like and a comment. It helps and I appreciate it so much. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing that as well. As always, I hope to see you in the next episode. And until then, I'm gonna say bye bye.